Hello, welcome to this DCS AH-64D tutorial. In this video, we will cover basic startup and making sure that your aircraft is prepped and ready to fly for a combat mission as soon as your plane finishes its startup. I will have a basic checklist to be able to follow in the description of this video, similar to the one available for the FA-18C. Before we begin, the first thing we should do is sweep our controls. So we need to move our stick, move our rudders, and move our collective. This prevents startup errors that may occur. Next, we will hit our auto start and wait for it to say AGI alignment in the upper portion here. We wait for it to say AGI alignment before doing anything else to help prevent startup errors related to the early access nature of this module.
Engine 1 fire. Engine 1 fire. Hydraulic failure.
Alright, it now says waiting for AGI alignment, so we can go ahead and do our loadout. Choose your preferred livery and your loadout. In my case, I'm going to choose a full suite of Hellfires.
Request rearming.
After we do our armaments, we can come down to this left-hand panel, go to the weapon button, come up to the top to code, and then select frequency. From here, we will select channel A, and on the keypad, input our preferred laser code. If you are a member of the Damned, your code has been determined based on your board number. If you are unsure what it should be, feel free to contact me and we'll sort it out. If you are not a member of the Damned and are watching this video, pick a code that will ensure that no one else utilizing a laser in the area will interfere with your code. After you punch in your code, go ahead and press enter, and you will see the A station now has the code that you inputted. From here, we will go to the channel option and make sure that all 4 of these options are on the channel we set for our code. If you are utilizing buddy lasing features, you can set these channels to buddy's codes, but we'll cover that in a later buddy lasing tutorial video. After you finish setting all of these channels, we can come back to weapon. At this point, we should have our armaments on, so in this case, I'm going to activate my Hellfires to verify my codes. So I will click the ground override, and then the arm push button. Now my plane is armed, and I can select my Hellfire missiles. Selecting my Hellfires, I can see that my primary, my alternate channels are both A, that I set them to. You can see that down here as well. And you can also see that the 3rd and 4th channel are also on A. That verifies that I have done my laser code setup correctly. From here, I will go to the ACE page, Aircraft Survivability Equipment, on button T2. I will press T1 chaff to arm the system, and then change the chaff mode on L1 to manual. After this, I will enter the utility page on T6 and move down to the R4 option where it says RLWR. You will see an empty circle. We will click this button so it is a filled-in circle. This will activate your missile warning system if it is not already active. From here, we will go back to our weapon page. On the weapon page, we will now go to this bottom option, ACQ for acquisition source, and we will change it from fixed to TADS. You can see our option that we choose in this upper portion right here. After we select TADS, we can now go to Video, VID, click. We will choose TADS, choose TADS in the upper right, and then we will choose Zoom. From here, we can go back to our weapon page. Our Hellfire, our acquisition source, the ability to see what our co-pilot gunner is seeing behind our weapons, our chaff, have all been set up. So now we will set up our main cannon. I will select the cannon now. You can see it is equipped based on this picture lighting up. To set up the cannon, I will go down to B6, man range, select it so it is boxed, and then come over to my keypad and input 700. This will change the default range on our weapon from 1500 to 700. I will cover this in more detail during the weapons tutorial. If I now wanted it to be in an automatic ranging mode, I would click the same button, type in A, and then enter. If you wish, you can change the burst limit on your gun. If you see this page pop up, it means your auto start has completed. So we will go back to the weapons page. As I was saying, you can change your burst limit on your cannon to your preference. I'm going to change it to all. Now that this page has been completely set up, we are good to go and check our flight page. So we will hit M down here for menu. We will then choose FLT. In the FLT menu, we will click Set down on B6. And if our radar altimeter is not turned on, we will press this button to fill in the circle. Now our radar altimeter is turned on. Back to the weapons page. We will move over to this right-hand page, turn on our radar warning indicator, or missile warning indicator, and we will flip these three switches up. I will go ahead and select the TSD on the right display, and I will cover navigation features and how to set waypoints in a later video. Now that all of our displays are set up, we can worry about our helmet. In order to finish setting up our helmet, we will come down to the left hip panel and turn the brightness knob all the way up. The primary lights control knob. At this point, I will go to the weapon page, if it's not already up, unselect whatever munition I have selected, and choose this bore sight button down here on L5. Then I will choose L4 IHADS, and IHADS is now boxed. You will notice a new option pop up, B/S now, and our cursor has been positioned over it. When our bore sight alignment is in the appropriate position, we will press down our cursor enter button to select this option. You can move the cursor with your HOCAS control keybinds. So go ahead and keep it over it so you see it slightly highlighted. I'll zoom in so you get a better picture of that. It's kind of bolded. And that lets us know if we click down, we will activate that key press. In order to bore sight our helmet, we need to align the center of this cross, this center dot, with the center of these circles. But we need to make these circles perfectly concentric. It might not look like it during this video due to the recording nature of my VR headset, but I'm following this procedure and putting this center portion in the middle of the concentric circles. So let me go ahead and try and get this aligned now. Alright, I have it aligned, so I'm going to depress my cursor. And when I press the Bore Sight Now button, the lights go away and I've bore sighted my helmet. If you wish to check the accuracy of your alignment, we can come down to this NVS mode switch, or if you have it bound on your controls, and move it to the normal middle position. Now I can look out at the world around me and verify that the image in the helmet lines up with the objects around me. So here I can see my alignment was a little off, but it's close enough for this. This alignment will influence your cannon accuracy and how symbols are displayed in your helmet. If these are hard to see, these overlays compared to the background, we can adjust their brightness utilizing the flare level and gain control knobs. Or if you have them bound, you can utilize those as well. That seems to make it stand out better for me, so that's how I'm going to leave it for now. Now that that's all set up, I'm going to come down and turn the NVS mode off. I will cover its use in more detail in a later video. At this point, we have set ourselves up completely, and now we need to set up George. So we'll go back to the weapon page, select my guns, and now I will open the George display menu by pressing the George Show Hide button. Up here, at the top, is the George menu. By default, he is on Gun, Burst, and Unslaved. I will cover in more detail in the George video on how to control this, but for now, we want to get him set up for our Hellfires, so I'll press left on the George button, a short left press, and now he has his Hellfires equipped, and he tells us, Wazing Hellfire. From here, our helicopter is completely set up and ready to fly. Let's go through that one more time, and I'll go through it a little bit faster. Alright, I will tweak my controls. Auto start. Wait for EGI alignment.
Engine 1 fire. Engine 1 fire. Engine 1 fire. Engine 1 fire.
waiting for AGI alignment, I'll open my rearm window and choose my preferred livery and loadout.
Request rearming.
After that, I will come down to my weapon page, set my laser codes, set my channels, back to the weapon page. I will set my aircraft survivability equipment, back to my weapons. I will select my acquisition source and my video feed. From here, I will go ahead and go into the flight mode and make sure down here at set that my radar altimeter is turned on. Selecting my ground override and arming, I can equip my Hellfires and verify everything is as it should be. I will select my gun, preferred burst limit, change my range to my preferred number, in this case 700. I will deselect whatever weapon I have selected and bore sight my helmet. I will move to this right-hand panel and turn on my flares and my missile warning system. At this point, I'm ahead of the game, so I'm going to go ahead and set up George.
Pausing Hellfire.
At this point, I am completely ready and finished with my startup. I just need to wait for the alignment to complete. I can go ahead and verify my NVS. And that looks pretty close. So I know my helmet is bore sighted correctly. You can see the overlay lag a little bit that I'm talking about when I move up and down quickly with my head. But if they match up when you're holding relatively steady, that's good. Instead of making you wait for the finish of the AGI alignment, I will thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.